Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. What's up, everybody? Okay. Just want to make sure I can hear myself. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm going to speak to y'all because I can't be here too long, but we're going to talk about these things. What's going on, Miss Linda Gamble? How are you? Miss Lori, good morning, good morning. Thank you, Mama Bees, for being here. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. Bama Girl, good morning, good morning. Queen Sage, good morning, good morning. Grown Woman, Don't Try Me, good morning, good morning. Mama V, good morning, good morning, good morning. Miss Felicia, good morning, good morning. Let's see. CC, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to everybody. As you guys come in, please make sure you hit the like button on this video to push it up in the algorithm as well, okay? All right, y'all. So we're going to get into the original lawsuit that Salamandra Robinson, the mother of Shanquella Robinson, filed against the Cabo Six, along with the Federal Bureau of Investigations, as well as the state. Now, we already know that the judge has dismissed the feds off of the lawsuit, as well as the state from the lawsuit as well. And again, I'm going to be reading the pages directly. Now, what I'm not going to do, unfortunately, is some of these documents I'm not going to show because they have not been redacted, y'all. And even though I don't give two flying F's about the Cabo Six at all, I don't want anything to fall back on me as far as doxing or whatever the case may be. I'm not interested in doing that. So I will read the lawsuit and we'll go from there. Okay. So give me one moment here. Now I'm gonna start by reading the original lawsuit, and I can put that one on the screen. Give me 1 second. Or maybe I can't, because where did it go? Unlock the next page after. You know what? I think I got this on my email. Hold on. Is this it? Let's see. Yep, I got it. So I did not need to look on their website. All right. Now this one I'll put on the screen. Image file PDF. Let's do PDF. All right. So again, we're going to get into the original complaint, and then we're going to get into hey, Mocha Drop. So we're going to get into the original complaint, and then I'll get into Imani Green slash Deajenae Jackson as well. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. So here you guys can see on the screen who exactly is being sued. No, I'd rather share my screen. Hmm. Did I do this right? Hello. I can't read this, y'all. So hold on. I got to do this a different way. Because girl, I cannot read this. It's too small. I think this is it. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we go. This is the original complaint. Okay, this is the original complaint that was made by Salamandra Robinson for $100 million. Tracy, because I got to get up and get it in before I have to go to work. I mean, got to get it up and get it in. Shout out to Tracy. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the factual allegations, and we'll go from there. Because this is very important to know. Because in the response, of course, you're responding to the allegations made uh, per line. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. So Shanquella Robinson was a vibrant and driven 25-year-old who had already established herself as a remarkable entrepreneur and a beloved community member. As a proud college graduate, she pursued her degree with dedication and passion, embodying the spirit of hard work and perseverance. In addition to her business endeavors, she had a special talent for braiding hair, particularly for children. This skill allowed her to build strong relationships with families in her community because she offered a service that brought confidence and joy to young clients. Her gentle demeanor and creativity made her a favorite amongst kids and parents. Before her entrepreneurial journey, Shanquella was also a cheerleader known for her infectious enthusiasm and dedication to her team. Her spirited nature and leadership skills were evident in every aspect of her life, inspiring those around her to strive for the best. Tragically, her life was cut short, leaving a profound impact on her community and beloved and loved ones. She is remembered not only for her accomplishments and excitement for travel, but also her kindness, positivity, and the light that she brought to the lives of so many. Defendants Deajenae Jackson, also known as Imani Green, Elise Hyatt, Malik Dyer, Winter Donovan, Khalil Cook, and Nazir Tyree Wiggins, here and after referred to as the Cabo Six defendants, were believed to be friends of the descendant Shanquella Robinson. Khalil Cook, knowing Shanquella the longest and best, invited her to join the Cabo Six defendants on what was supposed to be a fun and safe luxury vacation in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, in October of 2022. Shanquella was invited to attend the trip to Mexico at the last minute because the other guests declined or otherwise canceled their plans to join. Y'all give me 2 seconds. Oh, I got it right here. Lord have mercy. And shout out to everybody coming in. Ooh, okay. All right, there we go. Now I don't know where was okay. Okay. When she arrived to Puerto Los Cabos Villa, Linda in Mexico on or about October the 28th of 2022, Shanquella spoke with her mother, Salamandra Robinson. Neither Shanquella nor her mother knew that this call would be the last conversation that they had. On or about October the 29th of 2022, the rest of the Cabo 6 defendants arrived at the villa in Cabo St. Lucas as evidenced by the CaboVillas.com. Private villa and condominium guest register attached Exhibit A and fully incorporated by reference herein. It goes on to also say on or about October the 29th of 2022, defendants Deajenae brutally attacked Shanquella Robinson in one of the bedrooms of the villa. Defendant Deajenae repeatedly punched Shanquella in the face, head, neck, and other parts of her body. During the attack, Shanquella was naked, completely exposed, and unable to respond to or defend herself. Still, defendant Deajenae tossed Shanquella around the room in the presence of the other Cabo 6 defendants. Not one of the other Cabo 6 defendants intervened to assist Shanquella while defendant Dejane's violent and relentless attacks persisted. Not one of the Cabo 6 attempted to contact local law enforcement during the attack. Instead, the members of the Cabo 6 revealed at the hold on, y'all. What? Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Am I buffering? Why is YouTube saying this? Or StreamYard? Am I buffering or can you guys still hear me? There's literally, I ain't never seen this red caution line on StreamYard before. This is why I don't like using StreamYard. Can y'all hear me? See me? I mean, not see me. Well, of course you can't see me, but can you hear me? My little thing moving, but this thing says we don't have a connection. Oh Lord, ain't nobody saying nothing. Hold on. And this keeps saying, let me listen. Okay, I can hear myself. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna go out and come right back in. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Hopefully this works. I don't see the little message anymore. So we'll see, child. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I need to close this until I get to it. And I can close. No, I don't need to. I can't close that. Okay. All right. Here we go. And all right, let's get back into it. I don't even remember where I was. I think I was okay. Instead of the members of the Cabo 6, the defendant revealed at the spectacle of and recorded, the incident that would be shared later on social media. Multiple members of the Cabo 6 defendants, and by the way, y'all, the reason why I ask y'all those questions is because we be looking at a different screen when we read a lawsuit, so we can't see the chat unless you got another device open over here. And let me just pull up my iPad. Under this. Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. Oh, okay. Um, Multiple members of the Cabo Six defendants can be seen watching the brutal attack with phones out and heard yelling at Shanquella, not defendant Deajenae. The attack continued for several minutes. Upon information and belief, defendant Winter FaceTime defendant Dejane's boyfriend so that he could watch the attack. Upon information and belief, defendant Dejane's boyfriend cheered her on as she continued to strike Shanquella. Upon information and belief, there was nothing Shanquella could have done to warrant this fatal attack. No one tried to console or help Shanquella with her severe and apparently painful injuries. When members of the Cabo Six defendants finally called the villa concierge hours later, they requested medical personnel to get Shanquella hydrated and implied that she needed to be treated for alcohol poisoning. Shanquella was not verbally responsive and was lethargic prior to the doctor arriving upon the scene. Defendant Khalil contacted Salamandra Robinson, advising that Shanquella had alcohol poisoning and that the Cabo Six defendants were going to put her in the shower. When the doctor arrived, Shanquella was unable to advocate for her own medical treatment. Keep that in mind. Keep number 42 in mind because Imani Green said the opposite. When the doctor arrived, Shanquella was unable to advocate for her own medical treatment or advise the doctor that she had been beaten because her injuries rendered her unable to speak. None of the Cabo Six defendants told the doctor that Shanquella was a victim of blunt force to the head and neck. None of the Cabo Six defendants provided any information to the doctor about the brutal attack. The Cabo Six defendants continuously told the doctor that Shanquella was sick from drinking too much alcohol and did not need to be transported to the local hospital for immediate medical attention. After taking Shanquella's vitals, it became clear to the doctor that Shanquella needed more than hydration. The doctor um, implored that the Cabo Six defendants to authorize Shanquella's immediate transportation to the hospital and notified her supervisor when the Cabo Six defendants indicated that they would not provide authorization. Attached as Exhibit B and fully incorporated by reference herein is the physician's interview report. Her vital signs were dangerously abnormal. The Cabo Six defendants denied Shanquella the life-saving treatment by referring or by refusing to authorize transportation for her. The Cabo Six defendants insisted that Shanquella only be treated for fluids for alcohol poisoning. The doctor repeatedly requested authorization from the Cabo Six defendants to transport Shanquella via ambulance to the hospital because her vital signs were weakening. Furthermore, the doctor provided information about local public hospitals that could treat Shanquella at no cost. The Cabo Six defendants refused. See Exhibit B. Defendant Khalil called Salamandra Robinson and told her that Shanquella needed medical treatment for dehydration. Defendant Khalil requested Shanquella's social security number and insurance information and 5,000 US dollars. Salamandra Robinson provided the social security number and advised that everything else would be in her purse. Defendant Khalil told Salamandra Robinson that Shanquella was dying was violently attacked by defendant Deajenae or otherwise unsafe. Instead, defendant Khalil insisted that Shanquella was merely dehydrated and needed an IV. At all times during the final moments of Shanquella's life, Salamandra Robinson was unable to communicate directly with Villa staff, local law enforcement, or medical personnel to get the truth of her daughter's condition. I will always say this. That part right there makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, I really wish that she could have, um, as her mother, I wish she would have gotten the opportunity to speak to those people. Like, I think that's absolutely insane, to not allow her to speak, and figure out what was going on with her daughter. I think that's crazy. Um, the doctor requested help from the Cabo Six defendants so that um she can attempt to rescue Shanquella. Defendant Malik remained in the room while all of the other members of the Cabo Six defendants left. When Shanquella no longer had a pulse, the doctor called 911 to notify law enforcement that emergency services were needed. Three emergency and medical service providers arrived at the villa, including the Mexican Red Cross. All three ambulance agencies confirmed that Shanquella could not be transported to the hospital at this point because she no longer had any measurable vital signs. Shanquella was pronounced dead at the villa in the presence of medical personnel and all of the Cabo Six defendants on October the 29th of 2022. According to the autopsy report, Shanquella Robinson's cause of death was a spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. Attached as Exhibit C and fully incorporated by reference herein is an expert of an autopsy report. Police officers arrived to prepare the necessary paperwork to take Shanquella's body to the morgue. During his interview with law enforcement, defendant Khalil claimed that Shanquella got the bruises on her head and arms from a fall in the pool. At no point during the interview did he inform law enforcement of defendant Dejane's violent attack on Shanquella. Furthermore, defendant Khalil never told the doctor or any responding physicians that Shanquella fell in the pool. Shortly after law enforcement arrived at the villa, the Cabo Six defendants packed their belongings and requested transportation to get to dinner. Defendant Deajenae and defendant Khalil took Shanquella's belongings and suitcase with them when they exited the villa. That is bullshit right there. Neither defendant Dejanee nor any of the other Cabo Six defendants checked out of the villa. Once in the vehicle, the Cabo Six defendants told the driver to take them to a hotel near the airport. The Cabo Six defendants returned to the United States the next morning, a full day ahead of schedule, without disclosing the attack or the injuries sustained by Shanquella to the Mexican authorities. When When the Cabo Six defendants arrived in North Carolina, each of the defendants worked in concert to conceal information about the facts and circumstances of Shanquella's death from her family and law enforcement. Defendants Dejanee and defendants Khalil came to Salamandra's home and returned Shanquella's suitcase. In Salamandra's Robinson's home, while she was grieving the immeasurable loss of her child, defendant Dejanee and defendant Khalil offered their condolences for Shanquella passing from alcohol poisoning. You can't be no human to do something like that. Like, never. Salamandra Robinson became ill and um, e- experienced and exhibited symptoms of sleeplessness, anxiety, depression, and other forms of severe mental distress as a result of learning of her daughter's untimely death. The viral video. The disturbing video footage depicting the defendant Dejanee beating Miss Robinson was released on or about November the 15th, 2022 to circulate the internet. Still images of the viral video are attached to Exhibit D and fully incorporated by reference herein. Weeks after Shanquella's death, the Cabo Six defendants continued to uh, uh, perpetrate the lie that alcohol poisoning was Shanquella's cause of death. The Cabo Six defendants did not warn or advise Salamandra Robinson that the footage of Miss Shanquella Robinson being brutally attacked in the last moments of her life was circulating the web. Upon watching the gruesome footage, Salamandra Robinson experienced renewed anxiety, depression, and other forms of severe mental distress. Salamandra Robinson's trauma was uh, excavated. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but y'all know y'all can see it. As family member, friends, and strangers discovered the video. Further media outlets played the video repeatedly on television and on social media platforms. Salamandra Robinson continued to suffer from mental distress as a result of defendants' wrongful actions, um, and continuing to watch the triggering footage. The denied records request. The FBI informed Salamandra Robinson that in open investigation into the unaliving of Shanquella Robinson in November of 2022. In April of 2023, the FBI advised Salamandra Robinson, her family, and the public that no enforcement proceedings would commence and that the agency would not be pursuing a federal prosecution of any of the Cabo 6 defendants. An initial records request seeking non-exempt FBI records from 10/29/2022 through August the 1st of 2023 related to Shanquella Robinson was mailed in compliance with the Freedom of Information Act on August the 31st of 2023, 4 months after the federal agents stated that the conclusion of their investigation into Shanquella's death. On September the 28th of 2023, the FBI responded to this request, identifying responsive records and assigning the FOIA request number, and then they have it there. The FBI advised that these records were exempt from disclosure, and these are the documents and the things that they have not disclosed to the family that will probably help even the Mexican government and everybody with this situation. But look at where we are, y'all. And this record request was administratively closed. Despite formally closing the case, the FBI refused to return Shanquella's property or provide additional details of their investigation. A year after the federal agents publicly announced the discontinuation of their investigation of Miss Shanquella Robinson's unlawful death overseas, a renewed records request that was made on May the 10th of 2024. The FBI responded on June the 6th of 2024, and the agency did not, however, confirm or deny the existence of um, responsive records. Furthermore, the FBI's June the 6th response did not indicate whether the requests were being processed. When documents were ex- expected was expected to be released, whether an exemptions applied or the request documents, or whether the responsive records would be posted to the FBI's electronic FOIA library, the vault. The only indication that responsive records may have been identified was the request number, and then they give another request number, which was identical to the 2023 request. In an email received on June the 13th of 2024, the FBI constructively denied the renewed request by stating that the estimated date of completion would be sometime within 2010 days over 5 years. In an attempt to justify the unreasonable delay of over 5 years, the FBI criticized the request as complex. According to the agency's requests are processed in the order in which they are received through the multi-track processing system. According to the FBI, complex requests are requests having over 40 pages of potentially responsive documents. These requests are assigned to a large tract of potentially responsive pages are between 501 to 4,999 pages. The agency aims to further extend um, the timeline by claiming The search for responsive records is ongoing for the request. So we do not yet know into which track it will fall. The FBI claims that it will take over 5 years to produce previously identified documents related to the investigation that took the agency 6 months to close. So it took y'all 6 months to close it, but it's gonna take y'all 5 years to give us any information in regards to that. Got it. Got it. Y'all so full of shit. An appeal of this constructive denial was submitted on behalf of Salamandra Robinson and denied. Okay, so just I wanted to go over that just to let you guys know what the factual allegations are, because we're about to go over Imani Green's response, and then after we go over Imani Green's response, we're going to go over Miss Salamandra Robinson's response. All right, so give me just a second here. Shout out and good morning to everybody that is coming in the room. Let's see, stop sharing, and let's see, is this it? No, it's not. Give me one. Now that time I kicked myself out of here. I don't know if y'all heard anything I said. Okay, so give me 1 second. Let me get this new Imani Green. Let me download it. All right. God dog it. Why did I just do that? Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to get this together. Okay. Okay. 2 seconds, y'all. Let's see. Did this go to my downloads folder? No, it didn't. And let me open up both of these. Okay, here we go. All right, so Imani Green is the new name of Deajenae Jackson. Okay, so we're going to get into that. And you know what? If I'm not mistaken, I don't need to share this because I think this got addresses and stuff on it. So give me 1 second, y'all. I think this got addresses on it. And unfortunately, they ain't fit to say none of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into all of the things. All right. So again, this is Imani Green's amended answer to verified amended complaint. Okay. Defendant Imani Green, through counsel and pursuant to Rule 15A1A of the Rules of Civil Procedure, responds to the responds as follows to plaintiff's verified amended complaint. All right. No, hers don't show addresses. Okay, so I can show hers. I can show her. I think it's Miss Salamandra's that show addresses because they even got the pictures and the videos from the private investigator, I guess, that they had looking for her. Okay. And I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be the one. All right. Okay. Good morning again to everybody coming in the room. All right, so motion to dismiss insignificant services of process. So she was saying that she was not served properly. As raised in Green's answer to the complaint filed on June the 18th, 2025, the amended complaint should be dismissed as against Green's pursuant to rule and rules of civil procedure for insufficient service of process in accordance to, and then it says Green will file a separate motion and supporting brief on the issue. Now, mind you, I did see the docket. Again, shout out to Tracy. I did see the docket, and this Miss Salamandra Robinson's response was the last thing on the docket. All right. So here's the answer, and this is how they answer to it. So the allegations in paragraph 1 through 3 are denied. So give me 1 second. Okay, wait a minute. So they consider the lines a paragraph. Okay, so that's just about the notice of claim, the jurisdiction, and venue. Okay. 4 through 12, the allegations in paragraph 5 are previously denied. Green lacks knowledge. So give me 1 second. Let me go back. So it says 4 through 12. Okay, so basically that's about the parties. Miss Salamandra Robinson is an individual as personal representative for the estate of Shanquella Robinson, defendant Deajenae Jackson. And the reason why she's saying that is because they have her name on there as Deajenae Jackson, and then they have an address on there. That's the reason why her attorney is saying that they're denying that, because that's not true and correct or accurate at this point. All right. 13 through 72, the allegations in paragraph 13 through 72 are denied. The allegations in paragraph 74 are expressly denied. Green lacks knowledge of information sufficient to form a belief about the truth of the remaining allegations in paragraph 73 through 78. So give me 1 second. Let me go around there. All right. So 73 through 78 is about the viral video. The disturbing video footage depicted defendant Deajenae beating Miss Robinson was released on or about November the 15th of 2022. And the last one says that Salamandra Robinson continues to suffer from emotional distress as a result of defendant's wrongful actions. So she's denying that. Okay. And it says the allegations in paragraph 74 are expressly denied. Green lacks knowledge or information significant to form a belief about the truth of the remaining allegations in paragraph 73 through 78. 79 through 94, Green lacks knowledge of information sufficient to form a belief about the truth of the remaining allegations in paragraph 79 through 94. 95, Green incorporates her responses above. The allegations in paragraph 96 through 99 are denied. Green incorporates the response above. The allegations in paragraph 101 through 104 are denied. 106 through 111 is denied. 113 through 120 are denied. 122 through 130 are denied. And 132 through 141 are denied. All right. And paragraphs 149 through 167 are denied. Now, here's what's interesting to me. Okay, this is really what's interesting to me, and I'm gonna get to the rest of this. She's basically denying everything, and I guess maybe because she changed her name, she's denying these things. But girl, we seen the video. We seen you beat this girl while she was naked. Like, I don't understand. And as further defense, Green asserted the following affirmative defenses. Um, First affirmative defense is statute of limitations. Defendant claims are buried by the applicable statutes of limitations. Pisses me off. Second affirmative defense, leches. Defendant claims are buried by leches because the plaintiff's unreasonable delay is asserting her claims as prejudiced by Green by, among other things, impeding her ability to obtain evidence related to the incident that occurred years ago in a foreign country. So basically, she's saying, I don't have any evidence Hmm. There's no evidence because this happened years ago and it was out of the country. Assumption of risk. Plaintiff claims are buried by assumption of risk based on, among other things, the descendants' belligerent behavior and provocation of an altercation. So here's what she's saying, that Shanquella had belligerent behavior. We didn't even know Shanquella, and this is a stretch and a reach, and we already know that. Where's the belligerent behavior? Fourth affirmative defense. Defendant's claims are buried by the defendant's control negligence, y'all. We're just gonna say negligence, including but not limited to the descendant's belligerent behavior and her pretty much causing the altercation, and the defendant's failure to accept assistance or alert others of any serious medical condition, and the descendant's decision to engage in excessive drinking. So she's saying here that Shanquella participated in excessive drinking, and not only did Shanquella participate in excessive drinking, you mean to tell me that after y'all beat the snot out of her, she was capable of telling y'all that she needed medical assistance? Or telling y'all that she didn't need medical assistance? You're saying that she denied any medical condition and that she didn't tell y'all that she needed an ambulance or whatever. That doesn't even flow. Whoever this, I did look up this attorney yesterday. I did look up this attorney. You're not smart, because do you not understand that everything that she's saying about this has been proven by the Mexican government to be correct? They have cell phone records, they have phone records of when they called, they have records of when the Cabo Six went to that restaurant or was supposed to be going to the restaurant, but ended up going to the airport. Everything that you're saying that you do not have, they have notations of it. They have notations of the fact that the Cabo Six, Shanquella wasn't even able to speak. The Cabo Six was the one that denied her access of going to the hospital to get checked. And then in order for, then again, they lied. They lied again and said that it was going to cost $5,000 for Shanquella to be seen by a doctor, when clearly we saw that the doctor offered, they said that they could do it free of charge. Baby, y'all too quiet for me this morning. The fifth affirmative defense is self-defense. So here's where she's claiming self-defense, girl. The plaintiff claims are buried on the grounds that the extent of Green's involvement was in any altercation was acting in self-defense. Acting in self-defense. Wherefore, plaintiffs pray the court to dismiss plaintiff's amended complaint and for such other and further relief that is just and proper. This is on the 9th day of July of 2025. Okay. I did look up her attorney. Did. Sure did. And I'm gonna save that tea for another video, but Imani Green, good luck. Good luck. Cause in my Cynthia voice, win a case, sir. Mm, win a case. Anyway, let's go over here. And now let's get into Miss Salamandra Robinson's response, and then we'll be good to go. Oh, child. You can't make this stuff up, bro. You really can't. You cannot make this stuff up. Okay, so inbox, Salamandra Robinson, download. Oh, I don't need to download this. Well, I do need to download it so I can read it, but I cannot show this on the screen, y'all. This gives too many addresses. And they ain't gonna come over here saying Chef docs me. Nope, not me. All right. And I know it's public record. I get it. I get it. It is public record. But you ain't gonna get the public. You ain't gonna get it from me. In other words. Okay. I may provide it to my loyal people, so that you guys. I mean, again, it is public records. It's public records, bro. It's public records. All right. So let's get into it. So this is Miss Salamandra's response to Imani Green's response of saying that Shanquella pretty much started the fight. She pretty much started everything. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. If I didn't get an opportunity to speak to you, plaintiff's opposition to defendants Imani Green's motion to dismiss comes now. Plaintiff by and through undersigned counsel serves um, this opposition to defendant Imani Green motion to dismiss as support for the plaintiff's opposition. The plaintiff states the following in defendant's amended answer dated on July the 9th of 2025. The defense of improper service is mentioned in a sanction titled motion to dismiss. Defendant amended answer at, and then of course they give them courtroom numbers and stuff. Additionally, the plaintiff raises the following affirmative defenses: statute of limitation, laches, assumption of risk, and negligence in self-defense. Okay, so she's pretty much just citing what she said. Defendant has not filed a separate motion to dismiss on improper service grounds with supplemental briefing, I'm sorry, as required by, and then of course it gives the number here. Defense counsel acknowledges this requirement in the amended answer. Defendant's amended answer at DE59. Again, they have all these numbers and stuff. Y'all don't know nothing about all that. In the abundance of caution, plaintiff has filed the opposition to preserve all objections and arguments to the defendant's motion. In the event, um, that defendant Green files the required supplemental brief, with any support for her motion, plaintiff requests permission to offer responsive briefing. So she's pretty much just saying, if she files another motion, girl, allow us to also respond to that motion as well. Here's the background. On November the 14th of 2024, plaintiff's complaint was removed to this honorable court shortly after filing the verified complaint. Plaintiff was notified that the individual known as the parties as Deajenae Jackson changed her name to Imani Green. Accordingly, the plaintiff amended the complaint to reflect the defendant's new name. Makes a lot of sense. The first summons of defendant Green was issued on, December the 30th of 2024, and included her last known North Carolina address. I'm not going to read it out. Summons issued Imani Green, DE23, on December the 30th of 2024. A supplement summons was issued on January the 30th of 2025, and they included defendants Green's last name and last Connecticut address. Okay, so it gives the Connecticut address. Despite having the Connecticut address, defendant Green owned and operated a 2018 Honda Accord. Several attempts were made to serve defendant Green in North Carolina and Connecticut, but process servers in both states encountered several problems. On April the 14th of 2025, after days of surveillance at the Hartford, Connecticut address, private process server Raymond, and then of course it tells who he's working with, services observed the defendant Green's 2018 Honda Honda Accord parked in a driveway. Okay, so basically saying that they were able to tie Imani Green, Deajenae Jackson, to that address based off of the car that was registered in her name. However, defendant Green was not observed in the vehicle or exiting the Connecticut home after hours of surveillance. So he's basically saying, sat outside the house, they didn't see anything. Process server Hussam, an agent of Kaplan Process Services, verified defendant Green's address in North Carolina. After multiple failed attempts to serve defendant Green in North Carolina, the process server um, then executed services on May the 7th of 2025. As stated in the affidavit of service, a copy of the complaint and summons was served to, and then it gives an address. It's a co-resident. Miss Tammy Gordon, who is over the age of 18, I guess took the summons. Okay, she took the service. Okay, Miss Gordon confirmed that Imani Green was a resident of the home and accepted the documents. Defendant Green received the summons, complaint, and attached exhibits within 42 days of receiving the complaint and attached document. Defendant Green filed a pro se 3 form on June the 16th of 2025. Defendant's answer DE 55 on the first page of the pro se 3 form. Defendant Green provided the following addresses, and I'm not going to read those out loud. Answer at 1 DE 55, the same address that the process server surveillance for over 2 weeks without seeing defendant Green enter or exit. Okay. Defendant writes the manner of service of the summons and complaint was insignificant and did not comply with the requirements. The service was then done again on May the 7th of 2025 and served to a party who is not a defendant at an address that the defendant does not reside at. Girl, I'm pretty sure y'all scrambling all over the world, honey. Defendant Green also claimed that the plaintiff's wrongful death claim is buried by the statute of limitations. Defendant Green did not attach any additional documents to support her assertion. Argument. Good cause exists for extending the time for serving defendant Imani Green. The amended complaint should not be dismissed because good cause exists for the extending the specified time for serving defendant Green pursuant to federal, and then it gives the rule. If the plaintiff demonstrates good cause for service after 90 days, the court must extend the time for service for an appropriate period. A brief must be filed with a motion to dismiss. Here, the motion to dismiss could be denied for several reasons. First, the court should not consider the defendant's motion to dismiss because no brief has been filed. In violation of the local rules, briefing provides the court and the opposing party clarity on the underlying arguments and supporting authority for the defendant's position. Second, notwithstanding the procedural issues with the defendant's motion, the motion is lacking and should be denied. All right. So we have that. Here is the conclusion. The plaintiff moves to strike defendant Green's motion to dismiss in light of the circumstances. A dismissal at this stage of the proceeding on improper service grounds would be an extreme sanction. If the courts find that service is not sufficient, however, the plaintiff humbly requests additional time to perfect service against defendant Green. All right, now this was delayed. I delayed it. This was dated on July the 15th of 2025. Okay. Now, again, there are several exhibits here. There's exhibits of the receipts for the title of the vehicle. They have all of the registered information about the vehicle. It is, and this is what's interesting, y'all. Y'all know she changed her name to Imani Green with the E, but y'all do know that her middle name is literally Imani, spelled with an I. Did y'all hear that? So she changed her name. Deajenae Jackson is Deajenae Imani Jackson. She changed her name to Imani Green, but her middle name is Imani. She just added an E to her name. like, no joke. No joke. She just added an E and an apostrophe, and then the rest is still the same. Mm, mm. Anyway, they have that information here. They have all of her vehicle information here. They have Malik Dyer's information as far as what vehicle he drives as well. Okay. Um Y'all, they literally have every timestamp. They have every timestamp of when they saw people go in and out of certain homes and certain things. They literally have the timestamps, y'all. Um Let me see. Did he ever see Malik come in or out? Subject had no return to the residence due to the lack of activity from the subject. Investigator then dropped at the address located on the second subject, Malik Dyer, in Hartford, Connecticut. What's over there in Hartford, Connecticut that they're there? Is that where they're from? Because I know they were in school, and I know they were at school, so this must be where they're from. At approximately 1:30 p.m., investigator Rano arrived in the vicinity of the verified address for Imani Green, Deajenae Jackson. A discharged single bay. Okay. Okay, so it's giving all the information about the house and all of that stuff. Okay, so they got a lot of information here, y'all. Again, I can't show y'all this publicly here on YouTube. But if you're in my Patreon, I listen. I mean, it is public records. So if you're in my Patreon, I will provide the documents over there in Patreon so you guys can see that. You guys know that I'm never gonna not stop saying her name, right? Y'all know I'm not gonna ever stop saying Shanquella Robinson's name. I'm gonna forever say it because it deserves to be said. It deserves to be said. Okay. They do have I mean not screenshots but scans of the actual affidavit of service. But we always know, and listen, I don't know how this is, but I'm sure that they're running for their life. They've been running everywhere, girl. They've been running to and fro to see who they can devour, honey. Just like that good old devil. Well, he not good, but just like that funky old devil. Listen, I don't want to close with saying this. I I really hope that some sort of justice is is given. My hope is that the judge does not deny any of these motions filed by Miss Salamandra Robinson because, again, Imani Green needs to go down for what she did. We all know good and well that Shanquella wasn't even per the video. This is why I say if the judge denies this, then the judge, I don't like, Judge, what's your tea? Because with the video, we can clearly see the video. The girl is not coherent. Shanquella is not coherent enough to tell them anything about her medical, what's going on with her medically. But not the fact that you can literally watch in this video and watch this girl beating on her, kicking her while she's naked. I don't know. And this is why I say again with this attorney, like, listen, I get it. Most attorneys pick up stuff, they have a choice whether they want to pick it up or not pick it up. But it is crazy to me that you would pick this case up and you can literally see with video evidence that the lady is lying. So anyway, again, if you guys are in my Patreon community, I will drop this. I will drop Miss Salamandra Robinson's response, because again, this stuff is public record. You can go pull it yourself. So that's not doxing. It's not doxing. So I got y'all. Hey Jones Lynn. Hey Sweet Jane. Hey everybody. Hey April. Hey Angie B. Miss Carla. Sorry that I was unable to speak while I was reading these documents. What's up, Time Out Sports Podcast? Um Again, I just think this thing is sad, it's ridiculous, but I'm gonna keep saying your name, Shanquella Robinson, because uh you didn't deserve this. You did not deserve this. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh my Patreon members memory as well. And I'm also going to post all of the evidence in which the villa posted as well. Okay. I'm gonna post all of that. All right. Listen, y'all, have a beautiful day. I will be back later on. I have some other things I want to talk about for sure. But wanted to go ahead and get this one. I was actually supposed to do this last night, but y'all know I'm an old man, honey. I goes to bed early. I do. I do. Once I eat dinner and work a little bit, baby, I'll be ready to lay it down and then be up at 2 and 3 looking dumb. Like, girl, why am I up? Well, you up because you took your dumb tail to bed early. That's why you up. Okay. Not on TikTok, girl. Okay. Anyway, guys, continue to pray for justice for Shanquella Robinson. Please share this video out because that's definitely one thing I'm noticing. I don't know if this video if notifications didn't go out or what, but I need everyone to know what's going on with this case and to be updated. And I know I'm not the only one that's covering updates on this, but I am one of the first. I am one of the first in this shit. See, here's the thing, and I'm not even doing this because I'm looking for clout, but I was one of the very first content creators, other than Gerald Jackson from the NCB. I interviewed Gerald Jackson from the NCB literally a day after he released the video. Okay. So I've been on this case since the very beginning, and nobody, I mean, not nobody, can tell me anything. If you go through and look at all of my videos, I have always been talking about Shanquella. The problem that I have with a lot of people and a lot of these bigger content creators, y'all are spreading misinformation when it's so easy for you to do simple research. If you look up an article that explains what the most recent motion was, it's gonna tell you at least the important parts of the document. You don't gotta go pull the document, but at least look it up. At least do a little research, right? Instead of spreading this misinformation, got people feeling some type of way. How do y'all think her mom feels coming out addressing the fact that there is no arrest warrant out for Deajenae Jackson or Imani Green? How y'all think she feel about that? That's crazy. So the misinformation gotta stop. It definitely has to stop. And again, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying that there are significant people in on YouTube that are covering this, but then there are also a lot of lies, and lies spread faster than the truth. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. No shade to anybody. I just, hope and pray that we continue to tell the truth about the situation and not be making stuff up in our heads. I don't even know where y'all got that stuff from, because that whole warrant thing was done what, a month after we found out about what was going on, around November the 16th, 17th, somewhere up in there. So y'all got to do better. All right. With that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.